The following is a paid program brought to you by My Philly Lawyer. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the station and its management.
Good morning. Court Radio is now in session. Call 215-227-2727. When you've got legal questions, we've got the answers. This is Court Radio. And now here's your host, Dean Weitzman.
Good morning and welcome back. It's Court Radio and it's March the 1st. Sunday, March the 1st. Wow, it's still chilly out there. Not feeling a bit like spring's around the corner. This is Court Radio. Thanks for joining us. If you've got legal questions, we've got the answers. I'm joined in the studio with my co-host. He hasn't been here for a little while, folks. Give him a big round of applause. The one, the only, David M. Rappaport.
Yes. Hello.
Hey.
I'm here.
I
was away.
Extended leave.
Yeah, well, it was weather, a lot of things. Weather related.
We're going to talk about the weather
Mostly
today, folks.
Related.
We got some issues with some new cases, and we got to talk about that. There's a lot to do, but listen, speaking of the weather, at 10 a.m. today, they're saying there's going to be the beginnings of ice and snow and sleet. Yeah.
Remember last time? No, I don't think you should worry about it.
I want you to stay inside unless you absolutely have to go out. There's going to be at least about an inch of ice on the ground and snow on top of it. It's going to be treacherous. Anytime after 10, it could start. So get comfortable. Get your questions and give us a call at 215-227-2727. That's the number, 215-227-2727. You'll get David and I this morning, and during the week you'll get the team of My Philly Lawyer. All right, David.
The team. Yes, what are we doing? We got stories.
We got a lot of stories, but let's start with a funny one.
A funny one? Okay.
The dumb criminal story.
All right. That is a funny one.
Yeah. It's out of Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, wait. You're talking... I wanted the other one.
Yeah, sorry.
We have two of them, though.
There's a burglary ring. They were hitting houses all over Massachusetts, and they caught the guy pretty promptly. You know why, David?
No, I don't. Why? Why, Dean? Why did they catch him, Dean?
I'll tell you why. Because the knucklehead was wearing his court monitoring bracelet. He was out on release, and the GPS satellite tracked him to each and every burglary. How do you like that?
The funniest part of the story is he pled not guilty to this, and his lawyer's questioning the evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, questioning what? They can track every movement that you make.
Yeah.
That's the funny part to me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe he was not thinking clearly, obviously.
It could have been, hey, you say dumb criminal, but it could have been, he might be addicted to substances and
no doubt he
did not care.
Yeah, because only an addict would do that.
That's right. That's right.
Only a drug-crazed addict would go knocking on the... An addict is a guy who he steals his friend's stuff and then asks him to helps him try to find it.
The decision-making is not the best.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Come on. Poor addicts. Get a rehab!
Exactly.
Rehabs I feel like we're right on the verge of seeing a lot of. You see them all the time on TV now.
It's funny you mention that because I saw a couple news stories over the past few weeks about particular states with incarceration and trying to move away from that.
We've said it
here,
and it's going to happen.
Now it's got to.
We talked about Portugal. Portugal made legal every single drug known to mankind.
Right.
You can go get heroin, crack, whatever you want. There's a drugstore for every drug possible, and inevitably you crash and burn, and then they cart you off to a rehab. And
I'm not so sure that's a great thing.
It is. I'm telling you.
Hi, can I have a pack of gum and a little sleeve of heroin, whatever?
It's the best thing in the world because you know what? You're never going to stop an addict from getting his drugs, and why even try? Let him burn, and then you get them a rehab, and then they get better.
Are you creating addicts?
No, they did not see the rate of addiction go up one bit.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's the laboratory of all mankind in Portugal.
Portugal?
Yes.
Wow.
That's where it's happening.
That's the center of the earth.
Well, look, David,
of addiction earth.
We were talking before the show. We were talking about this cummerbund story.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay, Cumberbatch. Cumberbatch.
He's an actor.
He's an actor, okay. But he played a gay guy in the 50s who came up with this great...
Okay, but let me fix you.
Go ahead.
Let me stop the people from calling in, okay? He played a brilliant scientist, mathematician who happened to be a homosexual.
Okay.
He didn't play a gay guy, okay?
All right.
He played a brilliant man who was able to crack the code.
Gay.
Who happened to be yes.
Once the government found out he was gay, even though he was a genius and he came up with this great machine,
code cracking computer.
What did the government do to him?
He was. I don't even know all the things they did to him, but they first of all they stripped him of all his accolades. He was arrested. They were going to. They gave him a choice of either being chemically castrated or jailed.
Okay,
for his,
so in the 50s...
I was crazy.
50s,
being
gay
it was almost
a
criminal.
crime. No, not almost.
Well,
you were going to jail.
In that particular... it was military. It's all military related.
Okay.
That's what it was. So it wasn't like a state or the federal...
But you could go to jail or you could be castrated if you were gay in the 50s in America.
In America.
So my point is that times change. Now gay people get married. I mean, now they have the blessings of the state. And so you say, well, I don't think we're going to ever get to a point where, all drugs are legal. I say, no, you're wrong. We are. And you know why?
No, I didn't say that.
It's because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't say we were getting – I just said that I wasn't sure if it was the great idea to have – well, you said – see, I'm not so sure you're correct that you can get every single drug in Portugal as easily as going to a store. In other words,
or maybe I
exaggerated. Why would they provide? Even you, the advocate for this, even you would recognize probably not a good idea to offer over the counter pure heroin, and that's not.
No, what they did is
you don't want to do that.
But no, okay. Listen, they give you a drug that's not going to kill you, right? Because it's not like batches aren't made in Bobby's backyard.
I understand.
And secondly, they tax the hell out of it, and the tax dollars are being used for rehabs, and so eventually you end up getting the person into a hospital where they can get better.
Right.
It's the right way.
I understand that part.
215-227-2727. Not that you need any encouragement because the lines are packed up. So let's grab a caller. Let's talk to James on line 4.
James.
Hey, James from North Philly. What's happening?
Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
We're wonderful, I think.
We're great.
Yeah, it's all
I have a real simple question.
Never. That means it's the most difficult question.
Go ahead, James.
No, it
all right.
shouldn't be.
Okay.
If I'm driving on the streets of Philadelphia, and a scepter, cobblestone, and trolley tracks cause me to have an accident,
right?
Can I sue Scepter?
Well,
okay.
Well, how does it cause you?
Yeah,
are you riding? First of all, are you riding a bicycle or a car?
No, in a car.
Okay.
The reason why I say in cars is because a certain area that I drive in every day, the trolley tracks on Germantown Avenue are like 2 inches out of the cobblestones, and the cobblestones is also up and down, up and down. So, in other words, if it's even wet out there, you could have an accident.
Okay, so the answer to the question is if the cobblestones and the track are deemed to be defective, and they can be attributed to be the cause of your accident. It didn't happen because you were going too fast. Now you have to be mindful that this is a dangerous condition. You've said it. You said, listen, I've almost had an accident going over these cobblestones and tracks. So you're aware of the condition. There's something called comparative negligence. That's when we not intentionally, but when we disregard a dangerous condition and we expose ourselves to that danger, then we can be partly responsible for our own injuries. So what you start out with as a simple question may not be so simple because you're aware of the danger that and so then the question might be, is there another route you could take to go around that danger? And if there is, and you disregarded this other route, and you said, I don't care, I'm going to go over the dangerous condition, then one could argue that you're partially responsible. But does SEPTA have negligence for a defective property that they own? Yes, they do. Okay. I mean, I've had clients where they've walked on, let's say, a platform for a train, and the roof structure over the platform had a hole in it, and it had been there for a while. So rain came in the hole and then froze on the platform. Ordinarily, you can't get SEPTA for ice or snow because it's a condition on top of the property. It's not a condition of the property. It's not a defect of the property. But because the hole in the roof was a part of the property, even that SEPTA was responsible for. So what I'm saying to you is, it's not so simple, but if you go to the right attorneys, you might, you gotta look at it from all different angles.
See what I tell you?
Let me ask you,
not simple.
I was just going on that road and didn't know that it was bad like that.
Well, that's certainly a better question when you don't know a condition exists and it's a condition of the property. I think.
Well, it's also a question of what you should have known, or a reasonable person would know. Just because you didn't know it, if it's staring you right in the face and you've gone there every day, an argument could be made that you should have known it was there.
Yeah.
So it's not just that you saying, "Oh, I didn't know it was there."
All right, James from North Philly, have a great Sunday, and thanks for participating. Hey, James, stay on the line. Monica's going to get you a T-shirt.
Before you take a call, I want to clarify something, because we are a factual thing here. We don't like to be inaccurate. Because you said when we were talking about that movie, we were talking about America. Now, Alan Turing was the name of the guy in the Imitation Game. He was the real, mathematician. He was a Cambridge brilliant mathematician, but it was British intelligence agency that hired him. And it was in Britain, in the United Kingdom, where he was prosecuted. So America, we didn't have that.
we have, but
we have, but not in the not during the Second World War.
Maybe not, but it was a crime to be gay and engage in homosexual sexual relations in Britain, but also in America. There was a time that it was a crime here.
I'm not disputing. I'm just saying for this particular movie, this particular person, and it was the Enigma code is what he cracked. I just want everyone to understand. If you do your research, you'll see what I'm talking about. And see the movie. It was cool.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
You're like that guy who used to was a critic.
Ebert?
Ebert. You're Ebert.
Siskel.
You're Siskel? Why?
Yeah, he was a little meaner, I think.
Oh, okay.
Ebert.
Which one was the chubby one?
Ebert.
Okay, you're Ebert.
Yeah, right.
215-227-2727. All right. Let's see here. Who do we have? Let's talk to Bob from Sharon Hill. I don't think we've ever had a caller from
Sharon Hill, PA. Yeah.
All right, Bob, you're our first.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Good morning. We're good. What's going on? What's your question?
I called before, and you gave me a T-shirt one time too.
So you're
definitely not getting a T-shirt.
Yeah, really.
And now you've corrected me.
You just screwed yourself out of a T-shirt.
All right,
that's good.
That's all right. I already got one. I'm good.
All right, cool.
Do you like the T-shirt? Do you like the T-shirt?
No, my wife is wearing it. She's been wearing it ever since I got it.
There you go.
Hey, there you go.
Well, I'm waiting for to actually walk around the streets of Philly
and see someone in it.
See somebody in it.
Well,
I think I'm going to give them $100 when that happens.
To Sharon Hill, maybe.
Yeah,
to see that.
I'll take $100.
When I see the first Court Radio T-shirt wearer in the wild. Okay, just out on the streets.
In the wild.
I'm giving him $100.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to peel out. Dean Weitzman on this is a contract. I'm going to, if I see a Court Radio
You know what I'm doing tomorrow, don't you? I'm coming over to your office in the Court Radio.
No. This is excluded.
Family
friends, and everybody who works for Court Radio. Or anybody who works for any radio in America. But for Bob's wife, if she happens to be just walking around Philly one day.
Here's the deal. Come to my office. Whoever you are, I'm right across the hall from my Philly lawyer. I'll give you a T-shirt, and then you'll split it with me, 50-50.
215. Okay, sorry, Bob. All right, Bob. You did.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm enjoying the entertainment.
All right. So what is your question?
My question is, when you have a will and you go to when you go to the state down there on Spring Garden, do the paperwork and all their financials.
Yes. By the way, that's
Register of Wills. Is that what you're talking about?
That's in City Hall.
Yeah,
actually.
the Register of Wills.
It's
right?
the Register of Wills.
No, the other one on Spring Garden Street.
What's the other? There is no other one on Spring Garden Street.
Spring
Yeah,
Garden.
when you got to go down and talk about all the finances and stuff like that.
Talking about the Department of Revenue or the
You might have to pay
Social
tax
Security?
bill? No,
I
but
don't
even
know
that-
what you're talking about.
I'm not sure what
Spring Garden.
Well, you pay taxes. You pay taxes there. I tell you that much.
Okay.
After you go over all the paperwork of how much money they have,
Okay.
and how much property they
Okay.
got.
Must be Department of Revenue.
Yeah,
office
for
there.
the state.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
All right, so go ahead.
So if you have a joint account with the person that passed away, do you have to turn that in?
Yes. Well,
half of it is subject.
It depends.
Right,
If-
right.
If you own it with your wife,
Right.
and then it's property owned in the entireties, and that's a special circumstance. The answer is no. But,
Also has the account written.
right.
Does it say?
Well, let me put it to you this way.
Is it just two names?
If the joint account is
Okay.
in your kid's name.
It's in your kid's name. Okay.
Right.
And-
you and your kid on there as joint account.
And who's the one who passes away? The older?
father.
The father? I don't. If it's in
Right.
trust for,
Yeah, I think it's still.
I think it still might be half. Right. If he's
Yeah.
if the elder, the father, is a signator on the account and can
the state presumes
freely
that
go
half,
in. Yeah, half.
half of the value of that account belongs to the estate,
Correct.
and half belongs to the to the co-account holder.
Right.
So if there's $1,000 in there, 500's got to be reported on the inventory for the decedent's estate.
Well, I'll tell you something. The person that went down there and did that didn't put down there that they was a joint account.
Okay.
Well, that can be modified. I mean,
It could be, yeah, or, I mean-
you could amend it. But you're asking me what, legally?
It's a tax issue. So
Yeah.
if it wasn't a spousal
Well,
thing,
and
you're
it's
saying
not only a tax issue. Let's say that there's 5
oh
kids.
right, there's a money issue.
There's
too.
5 kids,
Right.
and one of them's a joint account holder. Now, here's the interesting question.
But it was in trust for. See, that's what I think.
Well, it depends exactly how
it's written. Yeah.
Written. We get back to how is it written?
How is it
labeled?
labeled? Yeah.
Labeled. And I'd have to
It's
see.
labeled just joint account.
Well,
Yeah.
then you're right. Then Dean is right that it's 50-50 and
And
because
half of it is the estate.
yeah, because if the estate has more than one beneficiary, it would be split between all of them. That's why it needs to be done that way.
Right. And
How
so-
much money were we talking about? Do you know?
Talking about tens of thousands of dollars.
Tens of them. Okay, well then you're talking about something important. So I assume from what you're saying, they didn't report it, and the other account holder just took all the money.
No.
No. Okay.
But you didn't report that it was a joint account between father and son.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And in other words, mother had to be the joint account first. Then that was gone. That's
Right.
taken off the table.
Gotcha.
So now the person takes and says, look, I'm making you the joint account on my account.
Okay.
Okay? So now that's what they've written down when you go down there to specify all this money. Funeral costs and this and that and this and that.
Right.
And you wind up paying like $10,000 in taxes.
In inheritance tax, right?
Right.
So you declared the whole amount that was in there as the person's property, as the decedent's property.
Right.
Oh well, then that's you can
So
amend.
you're entitled to some money back.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Now, listen,
yeah.
there's a presumption it's 50-50, but the state can defeat that presumption if, in fact, it was 100% the decedents, and at the very last minute, just before they died, they slapped somebody's name on the account.
Right.
The state can say, whoa, that's not 50-50. That's all belonging to the decedent.
And that could be easily shown if the account was in trust for the child, but the only one who was making transactions regularly was the parent. It's their account, and they're just waiting. They're just putting it in trust.
Right. On the other hand, it could be seen as a gift. that, it was a last-minute decision, but he gifted me my half of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments.
So there's a lot of arguments there, but that's why it's so important to have a lawyer involved in this process so they can advise you of the law and, you guys can get together and make the right decisions as the facts pertain to the law.
But now it's an economic decision. So let's assume for the moment, I'm just going to pick a number, $20,000 is in the account. So let's say $10,000 would be subject to inheritance tax. And the tax is what, 4.5 or something?
For a lineal heir, it's 4%, I think.
So you're talking about $400?
Yeah, on every 10,000.
It's not worth it.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 400 on every 10,000.
So it's not worth it, I think, to pursue it now because the cost of getting a lawyer, or even just the time.
No, David, it would be $4,000. No, it's 40%.
Mathematician.
No,
4%. That would be 40%.
$400.
Correct. It's not worth it.
Put this now at $250,000.
Oh well, now it's worth it. Well, now it's worth it. I mean, of course it's worth it because you've potentially overpaid in taxes.
Yeah,
tens of thousands of dollars.
So you wanna stop down or speak to an attorney, whether it's us or somebody else. You want to get to an attorney and show them all the paperwork that you've filed so far, and then see if it can be amended to get some of that money back.
Right.
Bob, have a great Sunday. Give us a call if you need us at the office during the week, 215-227-2727. And thanks for being a listener to Court Radio and bringing us your interesting questions.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and follow us on Twitter at Court Radio.
At Court Radio.
Yeah, Monica tweets.
At Court Radio.
Monica, the producer.
You'll be tweeted back.
Yeah, she'll tweet you. She loves to tweet. She does.
And speaking of tweeting,
I mean, some people.
I know the relevance of it, but I haven't gotten into it.
No, I'm not. I don't tweet.
But speaking of tweeting, the other thing
Monica loves to.
Net neutrality was approved by the FCC.
What is
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't even know what net neutrality is.
You go on. It's you being able to get on your phone right now and tap something into Google and immediately get an answer. Broadband, quick.
Right.
Net neutrality says it's neutral for everyone. There's no set differences between anything, corporations and people. Everyone gets the same bandwidth, okay? What the companies were trying to do, Verizon, AT&T, all the bigwigs.
Those big, bad companies.
Comcast, all them, they wanted to pay to get the right to limit you from what you can do unless you pay them more for it.
Nobody limits Dean Weitzman.
They get the huge bandwidth. They can do whatever they want with it, but they can charge you for the extra special speed.
So it's sort of like a toll on a toll road.
Exactly.
If I want to take the fast road to go from here to Pittsburgh,
that's right.
I got to pay a toll.
That's correct.
So why? Because I don't have to pay a toll on the internet.
Because it's always been that way, and that's what they're trying. Because again, it's just like the haves and the have-nots. And the have-nots. The rich will then be able to. Oh, well, sure, it's no problem for Dean Weitzman. Because he can afford to pay $10 more a month on his Comcast bill and get what he wants. But for, us normal folk, we got to pay more money. It's not fair. We've already been inundated with, computers and it's now part of our life, and now we have to pay.
So what you're saying is that they've made the ruling?
Yes.
And so now there's no toll roads on the internet.
For now, well, they were going to impose them. The FCC
they're going to come.
Well,
the day will come.
It may.
The day will come.
But it's not today.
The free internet isn't going to be free forever, folks.
Well, for now, it's free.
For now, you can go to www.myphillylawyer.com.
By the way, it's not free.
It's not free.
You pay for your connection, but you don't have to pay for your the ability to go wherever you want. You're neutral. You can go to any website you want. You can get there freely, right?
Right.
You don't have any restrictions whatsoever.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
215-227-2727. You get to talk to David Rappaport.
It's like cable. They can limit your access to sites and things unless you pay for it. So
like
so
HBO.
correct. So now you can only go to news sites. And if you want to get the broader internet and be able to search on Google and do other stuff, now you got to pay us money to do that.
Yeah.
So you get little sects of the internet now instead of just having neutral.
And I can go to any corner of the world.
Now you can go anywhere on the internet. And
Right.
isn't it nice that you can do that? It's really revolutionized the world in a way.
It is.
Why now limit that?
Why now?
For money.
Let's talk to Sally, because I'm done talking to net neutrality man next to me. Sally from Center City, Philadelphia. Hi, Sally, and welcome to Court Radio.
Hi. I would like to know what's the advantage of a trust. I have a will, power of attorney, living will, but people say I should have a trust so that I could avoid some probate, charges when I die.
Well,
Is that true, and how I could use it to my best advantage?
Well, that's a very good question. Almost sounds like a law school question, Sally.
Do you have children?
You work at Temple University School of Law?
No, I don't, but I went to Temple. It's my alma mater.
Ours
Mine and
me
David
too.
says, when were you at Temple?
I graduated a long time ago in 76.
Okay, so I got there in 79. We
I got
missed
there 82.
we missed each other by a few years.
Couple of years, yeah.
So you graduated in the bicentennial year. Did you wear the I don't know, a bicentennial outfit that year when you went to, they had the spring fling. Do you remember the spring fling, Sally?
I think.
Yeah,
It's been so long ago.
Right at the bell tower. They would all the students would gather and they'd dance and party and play around, and it was like, spring's
Dance.
here. Yeah.
Well,
Dance
I did
and
a lot
party.
of partying at the tower.
Yeah, I knew it.
I know that much.
Yeah, I saw the little thing that Sally was here before when I and I always wondered who was Sally, and
Who
see,
etched their name onto the bell tower?
Here it is. Life has our paths
So
crossing.
do you have children, Sally?
Well, I had one daughter, and she's
How old is she?
she's an adult now.
Okay.
She's 47.
All right.
So there's a couple different.
There's different kinds.
Yeah, there's irrevocable trusts. Okay, where you actually get rid of your property now. Okay, let's say you had $1 million or a house worth $1 million. You could actually put that into a trust, and then you would be able to use it while you were alive. And if it was $1 million in cash, you could use maybe the income stream from it, but the actual property was severed from you. Well, if it's severed from you now while you're alive, then you're not paying estate inheritance taxes when you die. There's other kinds of trusts. There's a trust where you don't give anything up while you're alive, but if you have, let's say, disabled children or minor children, you'd put their property in trust for them. So when you pass away, they don't get access to the property right away. It goes to a trustee, and the trustee watches over it and divvies it out little by little. I think you're talking about the first trust, where you actually sever the property from you now. You put it into a trust so that you lose ownership rights in it. And again, when you have a large enough estate and you've got all this property and you don't need it all, it may make sense to develop complex trust documents that sever your rights to a property while you're still alive. And if you have minor children, the other type of trust might make sense. If your estate is reasonably small, under $1 million, and you don't have that issue about minor kids, a trust may not make sense. But again,
the only one I've seen in that situation, usually the most prevalent one, is the life estate thing with a property. So you own a property, you basically give it over to your heirs, and you lose ownership to it, but you are allowed to live in it, until you die. And when you die, it then goes to them. Instead of you owning it, and then you pass away, and then they inherit it and pay inheritance taxes. So that the life estate is what most people are talking about. It's with a property.
Go ahead, Sally.
Is that your situation?
Well, that's part of my question.
Yeah.
I live in a co-op, and my daughter is a beneficiary of that co-op, and we have other rules. You can only
Sure.
Yeah, you can only the person who inherits it can only live there or sell it.
Right.
So how does that relate to the irrevocable trust?
Well,
And should I really get one at this point? Is it valuable to me? I don't want to give the government my money when I die. They didn't do anything for it.
yes, I agree. You should deprive the government at every opportunity.
Yes, right.
Legally. So the answer is that you can put it into a trust, and the beneficiary of the trust can be your daughter, and therefore, but then you're talking about providing her with a property to which she has to either sell or live there. But she could be the beneficiary of a trust. It sounds to me like these are great questions, and what you need to do is sit down with an estate attorney, and you need to have the estate attorney look at your entire estate, not only just your co-op, but all of your property, so that he or she can make the best decisions or help you make the best decisions as to what to do. And it may not make sense to have a trust, but in order to have this analysis, it's more complex than David and I answering your question.
Because there could be so many other things involved where there's deductions and all that, where the attorney could say to you, look, there isn't going to be any tax implication, even if you leave it the way it is, so you don't have to worry about it.
Sally, you can give us a call at the office. Saul, you better call Saul. Yeah. He'll be in tomorrow, and he's in the rest of this week, and he does all the estate planning, and he'd be happy to sit down with you and figure out what makes the most sense. Give us a call, 215-227-2727, and ask for Saul.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes.
Is this analysis free of charge, or do you charge for the consult?
Saul will give you a consult for free if he has to start drafting documents.
But you can send us a check for what we just talked about right now if you want.
Hey, Sally, stay on the line, Sally. Monica's going to get your address. We're going to give you a Court Radio T-shirt. Wear it proud.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Hold on 1 second. Folks, we're going to be right back in 2 minutes. We got to pay the bills, and sponsors got to hear your message. Hold on.
It's a legal and financial squeeze. You're unable to work because of an accident, but your legal case is still not settled, so you can't pay the bills to take care of your family. But now, thanks to U.S. Claims, you can. If you have a pending lawsuit, call 1-877-US-CLAIMS. While you're waiting for your settlement, U.S. Claims can help you pay the bills. Get out of the squeeze. Call 1-877-US-CLAIMS today. If you have legal problems and need answers, call My Philly lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first at 215-227-2727 for personal injury, medical malpractice, birth injury, and more. Call Dean first.
He will fight for your rights. That's what Dean Weitzman is all about.
Call My Philly lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first. 215-227-2727. My Philly lawyer, when winning matters most. For 20 years, Center City Medical Center has provided premium expert medical services for Philadelphia. Whether you need musculoskeletal rehab or an immigration physical, call 888-945-EXAM. Our board-certified physicians have more than 80 years' experience from post-injury rehab to DNA paternity testing. To make an appointment at one of our 3 convenient locations, call 888-945-EXAM. Get premium expert care. Center City Medical Center, serving Northeast, North, and Center City, Philadelphia. If you've been injured on the job and are entitled to workers' comp, you need someone fighting for you from the start. Call Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law. Don't rely on your employer or insurance company to get it right. Call 215-512-1500. If you're entitled to workers' comp or it's being challenged, Jeffrey Gross can help get the money you deserve, and he won't get paid unless you get paid. Call 215-512-1500. Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law, representing Pennsylvania's injured workers for more than 20 years.
The following is a paid program brought to you by My Philly Lawyer. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the station and its management.
Need more legal answers? Here's more Court Radio with your host, Dean Weitzman.
Good morning and welcome back. It's Court Radio. It's March the 1st. Sunday, March the 1st.
Wow, it's March 1st.
March 1st.
Holy moly.
And yes, indeedy, it's going to snow today, folks, so stay inside. 10 a.m., the snow, the ice, the sleet, the freezing rain.
Armageddon.
All the bad stuff's going to come down, and it's going to be a ice field out there. So walk carefully, drive carefully, stay in if you can. Yes, indeed. If you've got legal questions, we've got the answers. 215-227-2727.
The lines are lit.
They are.
A light, or whatever you say.
I say a lit. You say a light. I say a lit. Well, there's so much to do. Wolf halts the death penalty.
Governor Wolf.
I love it. We have a governor he's an animal, a wolf. I mean, is it great or what? We just, everybody.
Thank God it's not Rabbit.
Yeah.
Like Governor Rabbit.
You make a good point there.
Yeah,
Thank God.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Wolf. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Master Wolf is a he's a guy who just stopped the death penalty in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but
I want to know what people think about that. Now, the conservatives
don't be so great on him, though. I'm going to tell you in a second. Go
ahead. And Seth Williams, a fellow Democrat, right? Wolfie is a Democrat,
right?
Williams is a Democrat,
right.
And you think they play in the same sandbox? Well, I got news for you. Seth Williams just sued the governor. Sued him. Why? He said the governor had no right to halt the death penalty, and by doing so, he was imposing his gubernatorial will in a way which was illegal and in violation of the Constitution of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
That's right.
But you can't, Seth, I get it. He's DA. He wants to be hard on crime, right?
Well, he's no Lynn Abrams.
But
Abraham. Sorry.
But you can't.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way. I mean, that's a good thing that he isn't.
But you can't flaw the comment that Wolf made. I mean, you can't argue it, I think. The decision is based on a flawed system that has been proven to be an endless cycle of court proceedings, as well as ineffective, unjust, and expensive results. And it's true. You know how it is.
Of course.
People with the death penalty, appeal after appeal, and we see all these things with the Innocence Project, with DNA coming back and showing people are...
All we got to say is Jimmy
There
Bain.
you go.
Okay,
right.
We had him on here. He was incarcerated.
He was
for
a life.
30. No, he was on. He
wasn't on death row. He was in for life, I think.
Okay,
I think I'm not even sure.
I think early on in his sentence, it was death that may have been converted early on and then converted to life.
It doesn't even matter. The bottom line is,
bottom line is
issue.
People make mistakes.
Correct. And
that's it.
Right. And why even... unless it's a totally efficient...
And we already know that we have killed people on death row
who were innocent. That's right.
That's right. I mean, so if don't get me started.
Me neither.
I mean, I don't,
with all due respect, Seth,
like I said, like we started the show, there are laws in America like homosexuality is illegal, okay, and then all drugs are illegal. Now you get a ticket for $25 if you're smoking pot. I can't go to my garage at work any longer without passing a horde of people smoking. I get a contact high every time I get to my garage. I think I lost my time. I mean, it is, so everybody's smoking now, and that's cool. I'm all right with that, I mean, there'll be a rehab for you eventually. But
wait, when did Pennsylvania, is it legal?
Philly. It's
No,
not legal.
It's not legal.
I said you get a $25 ticket.
Correct.
You get a $20. So it's like nothing. It's
so
like
everyone's smoking now.
Everybody's smoking now. If you got it, light up. But the point is that what was once illegal becomes legal, and there are certain. And I think the day will come when there will be no death penalty.
Well, you know what? With intelligence and with progress and with all the things in our world, changes have to be made, and you would like to think that we become more civilized and recognize that we don't need to kill people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a totally against the death penalty in certain circumstances. The most heinous of crimes, where some guy chops up people, 50 people.
I don't believe
I'm not even sure.
I don't believe under no circumstances.
Well, you might be right.
But we're getting to a point in our world where we have to make economic decisions.
That's the key.
We have to
How much money is spent?
How much money is spent on drugs? It's a wasted money. I mean, since the 20s with alcohol, it's never stopped anything. Stop it already. You're wasting my money. How about the death penalty? It costs like, I don't know.
Well, proponents of it would argue, but the other alternative is life in prison. You're going to spend all that money for the person.
No, you spend a lot less.
I agree.
You
but
spend
it's
a
sort
lot.
of like the global warming argument they show. Look, it's so cold. There can't be any climate change.
You spend a lot less money to leave somebody in jail for life than you do to attempt
to kill them.
To kill them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attempt.
I think you're right.
And so, but anyway, that's neither here nor there because Seth is saying you don't have the right to do it. And the governor says, yes, I do because I'm the governor.
And he did it.
So
I guess there's a lawsuit is going to be the ultimate decision maker.
I want to know how our people feel about it, though, because that's really, we're the people.
How do our peeps feel about this?
We, the people. So, tell Seth, don't file that suit, or tell the governor, open up the gas chamber again. The bottom line is, we weren't killing people anyway. There was 3 people killed since 1983 in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think it's Seth would argue it's the deterrent effect of, you know that you will be on death row if you murder someone, potentially. So it'll stop you from murdering someone.
All right, let's talk to Bill on line 4. Line 4 is a hot line today. Let's talk to Bill from Glasgow, Delaware. Hey, Bill, welcome to Court Radio.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
We're well, thank you. How's Delaware today?
Cold.
Is it? How does it feel to be to live in such a little state, like a little teeny state down there, Delaware? Do you feel special, or do you feel like burdened by that state?
Very, very special.
Wow.
You should come and join us.
The nice thing
when he goes shopping.
The nice thing about Delaware is that you guys don't have much in the way of taxes.
That's why you shop there.
Well, no sales tax.
Yeah, no sales tax.
Do you have property tax?
We have taxes.
Do you have property tax?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So if I bought a house, you still have to pay taxes every year to the.
If you bought a house, if you bought an automobile, anything, you still have to pay tax.
Oh, okay. But how about if I bought a stereo?
No.
No.
Okay, that's good.
Or food or anything. There's no sales
or
tax.
diamonds. All the Philadelphia jewelers seem to be opening shops in Delaware now.
Smart guys, aren't they?
Yeah. So how long does it take you? I don't even know where Glasgow is. How long does it take you to get from Glasgow to Center City?
About an hour.
Whoa,
that's not bad.
You're down there. You're like a southern guy.
Really?
Yeah.
It takes me an hour from Doylestown. What am I, a northern guy?
You are. You're like a mountain man. All right, Bill. What's your question?
Okay. About 3 weeks ago, I was on Chestnut Street. A woman driving one of those mini handicapped buses turned into the rear of my vehicle, and first she was apologetic. And all of a sudden, when the police came, she said that I turned into her. So just so happened when the accident happened, there was a camera at a private company. And I went to try to get the film, but they told me I needed to have a subpoena to get the film from them.
Yeah, it's their private property. It's like saying, it's like going to that store owner and saying, hey, give me $5. But so it's theirs. You're now. If they said that, then maybe. But you got to operate quickly because they have no obligation to hold that property. They can get rid of it tomorrow. And so, how do you get a subpoena? Well, you can't get a subpoena usually until you file a lawsuit. Then you have the subpoena power of the court. So you'd have to sue that private bus company. In, let's say, small claims court. Let's say you weren't injured. You didn't need my Philly lawyer or David Rappaport to represent you. You just wanted to get your car fixed. And so most lawyers don't want to be involved in a little case that's just a car fix case because there's no money to be made on that. So you say, okay, I'm going to file suit. So you file suit, go to Philadelphia Municipal Court. You file suit against the bus company. And then you take that court term and number and you ask the court for a subpoena. Now, I don't know if David, can you get subpoenas in municipal court? I don't remember.
I believe you can.
Okay.
They have subpoena power for witnesses. I assume they would also have it for evidence
documents. So you get a subpoena, issue a subpoena to the store, and for a copy of the videotape on that day and time, and then you hand the store the subpoena, and then they have to comply.
I have a more pressing question, which is if the accident happened the way you described it, where the vehicle turned and hit your vehicle in the rear, then how is it that you could be turned? How is it that they can turn that around and say that you turned into them? You were struck in the rear of your vehicle. Yes?
Probably the rear side, he meant. Did you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, there.
I know what people mean.
Please.
I can see through to the heart of darkness.
Right.
All right, Bill from Delaware. I hope we steered you in the right direction.
Fight them anyway. You'll win.
Yeah, probably. Hey, you know what?
Is it proper for a police officer to take a photo of my personal information?
Is it proper?
Instead of writing it down, you mean he took a photo of it?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Writing it, photo of it. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's all irrelevant.
Okay.
Anyway, Bill, next time you come to Philly, okay?
Yes.
Why don't you? I want you to stay on the line. I'm going to have Monica get your address for one of our T-shirts. Now, if you happen to be in Philly and you're wearing a Court Radio T-shirt, and I happen to pass you while you're in Philly, I'm giving you $100.
Okay, I'll be at your office.
but mind you, he never steps foot out of the office, and he goes directly to his car and home.
You can't come to my office.
Right. So you'll never
see him. I have to see you in the wild.
Right, in the wild. He never steps foot in the wild.
Right.
You go down into the lot, and you're gone.
Right, escorted by four guards carry me down. All right, Bill. Thanks for calling Court Radio. God bless you, and have a great Sunday. Stay on the line though. You're gonna get a T-shirt. Stay on the line. All right.
Wait, carrying you in one of those what are they? The baskets where they hold the guys hold it on each end. And,
come on, stop it. Stop it. All right, we got to give Twitter shout-outs to Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Jane Slusser from the Jim Kenny camp called in on Twitter.
And what did she have to say?
She said,
what was her tweet?
Yeah.
She's following.
us.
She's following. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I thought she tweeted something, but she's following us.
Hi, Janie. And we have Practice Panther. Is that it? Practice Panther. Wow.
Meanwhile, have we tweeted anything?
We've tweeted.
We have. Okay.
Yeah, we're tweeting.
I mean, you're
away.
Following us. I hope we're tweeting something that you can follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good. We're
there
tweeting.
You go. We're tweeting.
I feel.
Hey, David.
There goes a tweet.
Leonard Nimoy died.
I know. Spock.
Yeah, at 83.
Live long
on
and prosper.
February the 27th, Leonard Nimoy went to his final resting place.
I liked Leonard.
Yeah.
Everyone liked him.
He was
Spock, man.
He was Spock.
You can't, and he was just a cool guy, too. His voice, real good voice.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've seen recently, I used to watch that show. He was the narrator for one of those science shows. I can't think of the name of it offhand now. But it was very good. Yeah, he was just a narrator. It wasn't like he did anything but read. But
Billy Shatner said, "I loved him like a brother.
Yeah, Billy.
We will all miss his humor, his talent, and his capacity to love.
Captain Kirk.
Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Yes.
Live long and prosper. LLAP. That's how you can sign your LLAP.
LLAP.
Live long and prosper.
There you go.
That's how he used to sign his emails and stuff, his tweets.
215-227-2727. That's how I sign mine.
Now, all right.
You got to brand. If you don't brand, you're yesterday's news. Let's talk to Gene from Overbrook Park on line 3. Hey, Gene, welcome. You've been patient, dear. Thank you for waiting. What's your question for David?
Me?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was calling to ask a question. I own a home.
That's good.
And I'm turning it into rentals, like room rentals.
Room rentals, okay.
Yes, for low-income people.
Okay.
And I'm the administrator of the state. It's not actually in my name. Can I do the rentals under the administrator of the state, or do I have to deed it to myself?
Okay, whoa. Who's the beneficiary of that property?
There's no beneficiary.
Okay, who's the owner? What name is it titled in?
It's titled in the owner's name. It was actually given to me.
Okay, so is the owner
owner's name?
Is the owner alive? They're deceased? Okay, so the owner's dead, and in their will, did they leave you this property?
No, the daughter gave me the property. She's down south. She's a doctor. She wanted nothing to do with it up here in Philly. So she gave it to me.
Did she give you a deed for the property?
I do have the deed. I've been through the to become the administrator. I didn't owe any inheritance taxes or anything, and they told me that. And Registers of Wills made me the administrator of the estate.
Okay, so the property needs to get into your name. Okay, now if you were not the beneficiary under the will, it would pass to the beneficiary, which would be the daughter, who then would transfer it to you. Okay?
She did.
Okay, so then if she did, she needs to sign a deed. You need to pay the transfer tax, and you need to get it titled in your name as the owner. Otherwise, if the daughter passes and you haven't done that, there may be some question as to whether you're even the legal owner. So while she's still alive and everybody knows what they're doing, has the mental capacity to enter into this deal, she is transferring her interest, her ownership interest in this property to you. It's deeded to you. It's out of the estate, because once the estate is probated, you wrap it all up. That property can't stay in the decedent's name, and it can't stay in the estate's name. It goes to the beneficiary under the will, which would be the daughter. And then she says, I don't want it. She says, I'm giving it to you. So she transfers it to you, but you need to do a deed between her and you, and then you title it in your name.
You mean as the administrator of the state, I can't deed it to myself?
No, not. You have to follow, as the administrator of the estate, your job is to follow the dictates of the will. If the will says that my property goes to my daughter, then you're going to need to, then it needs to technically transfer to the daughter and then transfer to you. Because even if the daughter renounced the property, said, I don't want it, it then would pass to the next beneficiary of the decedent, even if they're not listed in the will, perhaps. So again, I think the cleanest way to do this would be for the daughter, for the property to title in the daughter's name. That's one transfer out of the decedent's name and into the daughter, and then from the daughter into your name.
Yeah, because then she owns it, then she decides what to do with it.
Yeah.
She can't decide what to do with it until she owns it.
And so it can't stay in the estate's name. Your job as the administrator is just to move property quickly in and out of the estate's name and put it into the proper hands, the beneficiaries of the estate. Pay the estate bills and clean up and finish up the estate and not keep a property for years and decades in the estate's name. You as the administrator, that's not going to work.
So what if I can't get in touch with her now? Because it has been decades that I've had this property in my name. I mean, administrating over it and fixing on it, and it's ready to be rented.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. The problem is that property technically is legally owned right now by the beneficiaries of the estate. Even though you haven't transferred it into their name, the estate doesn't own property. The estate merely is a vessel by which property is transferred to the rightful owner, the beneficiaries. And so whether you've legally transferred it or not, legally the state presumes it is the property of the beneficiary. And so it isn't yours, and you really have to get it transferred from the decedent's name into your name.
Yeah, if somebody wanted to buy that property now, and you went to the title company and they had to fix the deed up, they would need to figure out who the current owner is. And as Dean said, the current owner is the beneficiaries. So they would have to sign off on it.
It's a big mess. It's a big mess. But, I think the only right way to do this is to find her. And otherwise, you're investing in something that you really don't have a legal ownership in.
Right.
All right. That's the best we could do on a Sunday morning. If you have other questions, give us a call during the week, and you better call Saul for estate questions. 215-227-2727. He'll be in tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Have a great Sunday. Folks, we're going to take a real quick break before we finish up the show. We'll be back with a couple other questions and answers in 2 minutes.
It's a legal and financial squeeze. you're unable to work because of an accident, but your legal case is still not settled, so you can't pay the bills to take care of your family. But now, thanks to U.S. Claims, you can. If you have a pending lawsuit, call 1-877-US-CLAIMS. While you're waiting for your settlement, U.S. Claims can help you pay the bills. Get out of the squeeze. Call 1-877-US-CLAIMS today. If you have legal problems and need answers, call My Philly Lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first at 215-227-2727 for personal injury, medical malpractice, birth injury, and more. Call Dean first.
He will fight for your rights. That's what Dean Weissman is all about.
Call My Philly Lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first. 215-227-2727. My Philly Lawyer, when winning matters most. For 20 years, Center City Medical Center has provided premium expert medical services for Philadelphia. Whether you need musculoskeletal rehab or an immigration physical, call 888-945-EXAM. Our board-certified physicians have more than 80 years' experience from post-injury rehab to DNA paternity testing. To make an appointment at one of our 3 convenient locations, call 888-945-EXAM. Get premium expert care. Center City Medical Center, serving Northeast, North, and Center City, Philadelphia. If you've been injured on the job and are entitled to workers' comp, you need someone fighting for you from the start. Call Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law. Don't rely on your employer or insurance company to get it right. Call 215-512-1500. If you're entitled to workers' comp or it's being challenged, Jeffrey Gross can help get the money you deserve, and he won't get paid unless you get paid. Call 215-512-1500. Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law, representing Pennsylvania's injured workers for more than 20 years.
The following is a paid program brought to you by My Philly Lawyer. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the station and its management.
Need more legal answers? Here's more Court Radio with your host, Dean Weitzman.
Hey, we're back. And it's still March the 1st, and it's still going to be dangerously slippery out there today.
I don't think the bad stuff's coming out.
Yeah. When David says he doesn't think it's bad, you know you better stay in bed.
Shackle yourself inside. Don't even step foot out.
He's not been known to be a good weather forecaster.
No, well, that one time we almost slid to our death.
215-227-2727. That's the number you call all week, every week, in case you have a legal issue. If I can't solve your legal problems, I'll find somebody who will, probably. And David?
Yes?
It's been a great show.
It has.
I'd take another caller, but time is rushing away from us.
Yeah, I'm not sure we have the time to get involved.
Yeah. We never heard from anybody about whether they thought Governor Wolf's death penalty was good. You can email me.
No, anti-death penalty.
Yeah. His
moratorium.
Moratorium, thank you. Moratorium was a good thing or a bad thing, but you can always email us at courtradio.com.
Or tweet us.
Yeah, tweet. Give us a tweet about the moratorium.
Yeah.
You think the moratorium is a good thing or a bad thing? Tweet and,
at Court Radio.
At Court Radio. Monica will tweet you back, and we'll all be good. So, folks, unfortunately, an exciting day of Court Radio is coming to an end. We hope our T-shirt winners are happy. And once again, Dean Weitzman says that if I see you in the wild, which is defined as on the city streets of Philadelphia, and you're wearing your court T-shirt proudly, I will peel off $100 for anybody.
And if I see you, I will tell Dean to peel off $100 for you.
No, that doesn't work.
How about that?
Have a great Sunday, folks. David, welcome back. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
The preceding was a paid